So a few episodes ago, we talked about how minds can be shaped. But this time, we're going to go just a little bit deeper than last time. Because it's one thing to know how influence exists, but it's another thing to ask who's actually doing the influencing and why. They don't need to control your every move. They just need to guide what you see, what you feel, and what you believe matters. And once they control that, they don't control your actions, they control your reality. You think you're making your own decisions. But what if the choices you're making were designed for you before you even ever realized it? Alright, let's get into it. We live in a world where it feels like we have unlimited access to information. But access doesn't mean freedom, because you're not seeing everything. You're seeing what's been filtered, prioritized, and pushed to you. Social media feeds, news headlines, and trending topics, all of it is ranked, sorted, and decided. You're not walking into an open marketplace of ideas. You're walking into a store where the shelves were already stocked for you. And the craziest part is, you don't question it because it feels so natural. This isn't old school censorship where things just disappear. This is smarter. This is showing you just enough to make you think you've seen it all. And it's not about hiding the truth anymore. It's about burying it under everything else. Now let's talk about what actually drives this machine. Fear. Fear is addictive. Fear keeps you engaged. And fear keeps you coming back. The more afraid people are, the less they think, and the more they react. And when people react instead of think, they're easier to control. But fear alone isn't enough. You also need division. Left versus right. Rich versus poor. Race versus race. Generation versus generation. Because if people are busy fighting each other, they're not paying attention to who's actually benefiting. You're arguing with someone who has just as little control as you, while someone else is quietly pulling the strings. Divide people long enough, and they'll never realize they were on the same side all along. It's not just what you believe, it's who you think you are. Your identity today is heavily tied to what you consume, what you watch, what you like, and what you share. You're not just forming opinions anymore, you're building a persona around them. And once your identity is tied to a belief, you won't question it. You'll defend it even when it doesn't make sense. And while all of this is happening, something else is being taken from you. Your attention. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources in the world right now. Every scroll, every click, every argument is making someone money. They don't need you informed, they just need you distracted. A distracted population doesn't notice patterns, and patterns are where the truth actually lives. So what do you do with all of this? Because once you see it, you can't really go back. You don't have to disconnect from everything, but you do have to be aware. And this kind of goes back to the first episode where I said, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Don't strictly use AI for research, because it's going to be tailored for you and what your niche fits. Question your emotional reactions. Ask who benefits from what you're seeing, and step outside your natural resources that you use. Because the moment you stop reacting automatically, you start thinking independently. And independent thinking is the only thing this entire system does not want. They don't want individualistic ideals. They want, this is the way we're going to run things, and we want your full support no matter what. That's why these posts are tailored the way that they're tailored for you. They want you to be manufactured under the premise of what they want you to see. So the few episodes ago we talked about how the minds were shaped. And now you understand how that shaping actually happens. And more importantly, how to start breaking out of it. I know it's been a busy week for me. I said I'd do 2 episodes this weekend, so you got another one coming tonight at I think I'm going to premiere it at 6 p.m. But yeah, that's all I got for this one, guys. I really appreciate everybody sticking with me. Yeah, that's all I got. Peace.